Oh, so, new person, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
Yeah, we're here to talk about Halo.
Yeah.
Social distancing. Few characters in gaming are as eminently recognisable as Master Chief from the Halo series. Effectively invincible on the battlefield, Master Chief's primary asset is his now iconic Mark IV Mjolnir armour. A highly advanced piece of combat technology capable of killing anybody unworthy of wearing it. So Ryan, like myself, you are a big old Halo boy, correct?
I am indeed.
Like you're all in on the Halos. We are Halords through and through.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, I'll go for that.
Yeah, don't mispronounce it. Be careful how you say that one. What are your thoughts on the Halo series and just Master Chief's Mark IV Mjolnir armour?
There's nothing more iconic. You've got to have the helmet. If you're a fan like me, you've got to have the helmet in your house.
Yeah, you've got the Master Chief, the Halo 3, the helmet.
Oh, yeah.
And how pissed off were you when you bought that and realised it didn't fit?
Yeah, I still tried. Even though it was really small, I thought I could take some screws out and maybe fit it over my head, but no.
So many people got pissed off when they bought that, and it's just not big enough to wear as an actual helmet. And I think the only thing that comes close to that is when there was like a not Mass Effect, it was Dead Space 2 came with a plasma caster, but it's not big enough to hold. It's like this big. And it's just a replica. It's like, what's the fucking point of this then? It's so stupid, and I hate it. But like, I still get salty about the Halo 3 like Master Chief like edition, was it, or the Legendary Edition?
The Legendary Edition, yeah.
Not being big enough to wear, but like, it suffice to say, Master Chief's like Mark IV Mjolnir armor, it's iconic. But something I need to make clear to the audience at home who may not be familiar with Halo lore is that Mjolnir armor comes in many specifications and it can be customized to suit a variety of roles. Something, however, that is stressed throughout the series is that Master Chief wears stock Mark IV armor. So everything you see him do could be conceivably achieved by anybody else wearing the armor, provided they were able to survive putting it on in the first place. And Ryan, before we move on, like, what for you is the most ridiculous thing Master Chief does in his armor?
In the second game, where he decides that to get rid of a bomb, he's literally gonna jump out of the ship with the bomb.
Just rides the bomb.
Yeah.
Just like Doctor Strange loves it down onto the Covenant like flagship. But for me, it's just always, oh yeah, he falls from orbit and they find him just in a crumpled heap on the floor. It's like, oh, well, I guess that's the end of Master Chief then. And he just stands up 30 seconds later, and in my playthrough at least, like a minute after that, he's gun-butting the shit out of brutes and sticking grunts like nobody's business.
Yeah, there's no medical attention at all.
The armor is just that durable, and as I mentioned previously, Master Chief wears a stock suit of Mark IV armor. So anybody wearing a Mark IV suit of armor could conceivably do anything he does and survive anything that's thrown against him, provided they're as badass as Master Chief is, which I don't think many people are. I can't believe like the stuff that you can do in those games, like when you get good at them. Like when you are throwing single hand grenades into the back of a scarab and hitting its weak point. Like, what does that look like to the enemy? Like, here is the most powerful piece of equipment we have, the most dangerous thing we have for the battlefield, and they see one man kill it with a grenade.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Just as well, like, the dumb's like you were telling me the other day, like, oh yeah, I was playing some Halo and I lured a Banshee into like a tunnel and then stole it. And I can't help but think what that looks like to an enemy of, I am in a plane and a guy somehow manages to win. It's like, I'm in a plane, I've got him. And then just like they look out onto their wing and he's just there. Oh no, oh God. Don't your mask fall down, folks, bad idea.
So I know this, Karl, but why would it be so bad for a regular person to wear the Mark IV armor?
And that's because, like, Master Chief, what's his fault? It's John. Is a Spartan soldier. Specifically, Spartan 2, is it? You're more like versed on the lore than I am, which means he has gone extensive genetic modification to the point where even his very bones and skin tissue has been strengthened via scientific means. And as a result, every member of the Spartan 2 program is physically superior to an ordinary human in every conceivable way. To the point like 7 foot tall. Is it like every member of the Spartan 2 program is like 7 feet tall?
Yeah.
And they can all like, what was it you told me earlier, you can run at 60 miles an hour?
Yeah. Something like that.
He can beat, like, at 14 years old, he beats, like, 5 fully grown soldiers in a fist fight.
Yeah, there's a scene in, I think it's one of the animes. I think it's the Fall of Reach anime. And he's there, John's just there, pumping some iron. And
little baby Master Chief.
yeah, bald head, shaved down, really, really skinny. And 3 or 4 ODST, like, maybe got about 4 or 5 years on him. Huge guys just walk in, trying to bully him, and he just breaks all their limbs.
That's why you don't mess with Master Chief. And as a result of this, like, the Mark IV Mjolnir armor was specifically designed to only be worn by people as capable as a Spartan 2. And thanks to this, there are specific modifications that make it basically a death sentence for a regular person to wear. The Mark IV Mjolnir armor, and I think all Mjolnir armor, possess also how difficult it's going to be for people to understand Mjolnir through this mask. I'm sorry, folks, but social distancing is social distancing. Is a sophisticated neural interface which directly connects to whoever's wearing its brain and then translates, I believe, like the electrical impulses in their mind into the movements of the armor. Because, like, someone works out, well, when you think about something, it actually takes your body a microsecond to actually act. Whereas if we just directly translate the initial electrical impulse into movement, it allows someone wearing this armor to react near instantaneously. And as a result, like, Spartan 2s wearing Mjolnir armor are effectively invincible because, yeah, they can react to threats instantly and the armor allows them to move at the speed of thought, which is some comic book bullshit I adore. And people watching this probably thinking, well, that sounds OP as shit. And it is. The problem is that the human body simply cannot move as fast as the Mjolnir armor allows it to move. And there is a book called Halo Fall of Reach, which is 1, quite good, and 2, very funny at a specific part. And that specific part is when they put a regular soldier into the Mjolnir armor and ask him to move. And you can probably guess what happens next. Ryan would like to describe it for the audience at home.
He basically turns into jelly.
Yeah,
inside.
Because they tell him not to move, but to think about raising his arm. At which point, the Mark IV armor translates the electrical impulse into his brain into instantaneous movement, which, due to the guy's body not being as hardy and durable as Master Chief's, causes every bone in his arm to break instantaneously, which understandably causes that guy a great deal of pain, resulting in those same electrical impulses that cause his arm to raise, instructing his body to get away from what's hurting it, which the Mjolnir armor takes and basically crumples him into a ball.
The amplified movements broke their bones, tore their muscles.
And I cannot even begin to imagine the agony of that happening to you, of your own body convulsing until every bone in your body is shattered. And I think it speaks to the character of Master Chief that he sees this and he goes, okay, I'll try it on. It's like, what a fucking don. He sees that and goes, yeah, but I'm all right. And the only image I had in my head when I read that description, I'm not sure if it's the same for you, Ryan, is like that weird glitch that would sometimes happen in Halo 3 multiplayer, where your Spartan's body would convulse in crazy angles and you got melee sometimes.
Yeah, that was great. It's like a squid.
Like, you'd like hit them with the warthog and go into theatre mode and just slow it right down and just see like their arms stretch like 300 feet out. And like, that happened to a real guy and he's just there like, and no one can help him because the armor's so strong. The moment they try and go and grab him to stop it, it overpowers them and breaks their arms too. And Master Chief, being the fucking badass that he is, puts it on. And like, to showcase how dangerous the Mjolnir armor is, even to someone who has undergone the Spartan 2 program and is basically superhuman in terms of the things they're able to do, Master Chief nearly fucking kills himself when he wears the armor because someone approaches him and he thinks about saluting. And because he thinks about saluting, the armor translates that to an instant salute that flies at his own forehead so fast it ricochets off his helmet and gives him a concussion. Meaning, if he'd not been wearing his helmet at that point, the story of Master Chief would have ended with him karate chopping his own head off. And you know what? I want to see that version of Halo.
Yeah, but Spartan Locke can do that to him.
Yeah, oh fuck that. We already talked about that on the channel before, mate. Like, fuck Spartan Locke.
Those poor grunts getting beat by Master Chief.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, it never made any sense. Like, in the first game, like, why does Master Chief have like the right hook of a god? Like, why can this one man punch someone in the back of the head and it's an instant kill every single time. And then when you read the books and go and see the shit that armor can do, you go, oh, that's probably why. And I've always seen it as like a gameplay limitation that if we showed the armor moving as fast as it technically can, it wouldn't be a game. Because you press melee and you'd see no movement because it'd be virtually instantaneous, then a grunt would die. Because that's realistically what it'd be, isn't it? Because the armor can move so fast that it's basically beyond human comprehension.
Yeah.
Which would mean that when Master Chief's throwing out those gun butts, he's throwing out a gun butt at half the speed of sound.
But we've all done it. If anybody's played Halo, we've all killed something and then just gone back and just repeatedly beat it and just watch it bounce up and down on the floor.
That's so fucking good. Like, when the classic of when you get hit in multiplayer, and they have that rare sound clip that will play every now and then. It's like, ah! It's just flying into orbit. Because you can confirm, Ryan, because you played Halo with me back in the day, I always played as a bright pink female elite.
Yeah, you did.
I never played as a Spartan, I always played as an elite. And the reason I play as a female elite is because for some reason, it must have been lost in the game's code somewhere. And they gave the elite a rare chance of when it's killed to make the stock female scream noise. Which means that every now and again, if you get hit by a warthog, your female just goes, ah! As it goes into the atmosphere. And just the image of this elite just starfishing through the air was always just so fucking good. Like, the ragdoll in Halo is fucking flawless, wasn't it?
It's great. It
Like,
was so fun.
Just the starfishing is so great. Like, why is it the image of just seeing like this legendary super soldier just starfish through the atmosphere is so fun? Like, why is Ragdoll so funny? Like, when you play Legendary and you get sniped out of nowhere by a jackal and it does like the zoom out to third person and Master Chief just hits the ground like a sack of shit. And like, you can't even be mad about it because it's just, it's like, well, I guess that would fucking kill me.
Imagine if he landed on someone with that armor.
Oh, don't he weigh like a ton?
Yeah.
He weighs like a ton in full armor.
Yeah.
And then like you even see it in like when he gets into the water, like the water suspension fucking just dies as he gets in. It's like, oh god.
Did you not see the crater on the floor that he left?
Oh god, he weighs so much. And the thing is, he weighs that much and he can run 60 miles an hour and he can punch with enough force to like, knock panels off a tank. And then imagine that and he's just coming up behind you and he's putting it right into the base of your spine right there. Right into that weak point that all Covenant apparently have. Because no Covenant can they can survive 30 battle rifle shots to the head, but they can't survive right to the back of it. No one can survive the buoy, mate.
Oh god, not this again.
And that's an in-joke no one's ever going to hear the explanation for.